Hello and welcome back to Farming Simulator 25 with me, Daddy Jokey. Still on Riverbend Springs. We are just hammering away at it. I am thinking of starting another map, but I don't want to have two things going on all at once, given that I already have not all that much time. So, Riverbend Springs, it's gonna be until we're done with it. When is that gonna be? I don't know. I think when I'm bored of the map. So far we're pretty early on, year 3, so we haven't had a lot going on just yet. But anyway, we're gonna go ahead and it is still March 3, same date as in the previous episode. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pop over here and pick up my subsoiler. And we're gonna go ahead. Let's go out this way, even though I have to open the gate. Funny thing is, the gate auto-closes every time the game restarts. And so it's actually kind of annoying if I end in the middle of an episode, or like in the middle of a day, and then come back the next time to record another episode, and the gate is shut. And I'm like, oh. So maybe in the future we won't be using any gates. But anyway, we are here today to do a little quick plowing job, connecting our 2 new fields. As you can see, this field is already plowed, so we don't have to do much over there. And so what I'm thinking is, we're gonna follow this line over here, kind of forward, and then we're gonna curve it a little bit and get a little bit more of a bow on the field. So let's go and allow create field, lower our thingamabob, our subsoiler, and let's go out this way. Now, we are creating stones by doing this, but it is what it is. We'll pick them up when we hire a stone picker again. Well, yeah, stone picker, that's what they call it, right? Alright, and about... well, might as well just increase it a little bit, I guess. Bam, that's good. How does it look? Very natural curvature, I think we managed to impart onto the landscape here. Don't understand why it's doing this particular texture when it should be doing that texture, but whatever. And so the way I like to do this, I like to actually finish the other side of the field as well, so that we have specific boundaries that we are within and we don't accidentally, you know, carve out the whole nonsense out of the field. So I'm gonna go ahead and back up on here. This could be rather precarious. Okay. Hit Y again, lower that, and just drive straight forward. No turning. Bam. Limit the fields again so that we don't mess it up. I think we were successful. So now it's just a matter of plowing out the path. So here we go, and actually let's try to do this in 2 passes. So I'm gonna angle it up, hopefully well, and then here we go. So we're going to have that little track coming down into the field, and it's gonna feel a little bit weird maybe, but I think it'll still be something that we can use, definitely for like carting things away, or even just getting, well, I don't know actually, I was gonna say maybe even just getting the combine into the field, but this seems like we might get the header stuck head first into the ground over here. We'll see. So there we go, that part. And we'll catch this tiny chunk that we missed. And by we, I mean me. Good. And then we'll go back hither. And then once we're done, we're gonna check what the state of the field is. We should still get, I think, fully fertilized state on at least the grassy areas, and we'll see what's up with where the track was. I don't really think that I'm going to spend any kind of effort, you know, bringing this up to spec with the rest of the field, and we'll just do it all at once next time we have to plow and or lime and or fertilize the field. So that is done. Let's check. Nice, beautiful field. Look at the curvature on the map. It looks spot on. Let's look in here. So zoom in a little bit. So we have some stubble tillage and some seed bed. Okay. Let's go over to here. Fertilized. So it's all fertilized except the stuff that we just did. The road is not fertilized at all, and the sides or shoulders or what have you are level 1. So I'm not going to fertilize that again. We're just gonna eat that chunk, because why not? None of it needs plowing and it needs liming, so we'll just leave the lime alone until it needs liming. We have a few stones hither and thither, all good. Let's make sure that we don't have a lot of fields turned on. And yeah, that's great. So this is looking pretty good. What I don't know is, well, actually I do know. I think our seed drill can just go straight onto this, and we don't have to like cultivate the field or anything. But I'm thinking that it would probably be much less of a job if we did. So now I'm kind of like, should I put on our brand new power harrow and go break down this field into smaller bits of dirt, I guess. Pardon me. Should I get this field down into smaller bits of dirt, and then we can go and plant something on it? Or should I just go and grab the planter, or seeding machine, I guess, not planter? I don't necessarily want to do a job that's kind of pointless in the grand scheme of things, if it was just aesthetic. So yeah, so that's a conundrum. And furthermore, what are we gonna plant? Let's check that calendar again. And I mean, we have 2 fields that we need to put in, and I don't know if this is enough for cotton. I honestly don't. I don't know if like even these fields will fill the thing, the harvester. So I'm not doing cotton. We're not gonna do grapes. We don't need to do grass. Plus, I really don't like the way the grass looks. I don't like how over here we have all of this like brown, not yet like healthy grass. But if we have a field that is always like bright green, perfectly healthy grass, like we're walking around on a AstroTurf. So we're not doing grass yet. We don't need it. Green beans, long grain rice. I don't know. Same with olives. I might do peas. The trick with peas is it would allow us potentially. No, it wouldn't, because we haven't hit that on the right time. I was gonna say it would allow us to plant carrots again, which I really don't want to do, but it is also like double cropping is such a smart thing to do if you can do it. I don't know. Red beet, sorghum, maybe spinach? I don't know. Maybe we could do spinach. So in terms of spinach, what would we need? We would need vegetable planters, and we would need this thing. So we could use the ridge maker as well as the planter again and plant either of these 4. So that's something to consider. But honestly, I think the smartest thing to do will be to put in something easy, something that we can harvest with stuff that we have, and that won't require any other machines, which would narrow this down to basically just oat. Which is boring, I realize, but I think that's what we're gonna do. So let's grab this in here. our planting seeding machine. Not planting, seeding. It is a seed drill. Planter is for corn and other kind of row crops. Here we go. And we don't need any solid fertilizer. We'll switch to oat, and we will probably need to refill that. And by probably, I mean we'll definitely need to refill that. So let's go into our consumable shed, I guess you could say, and see where we have any seeds. Right here we have... Is that really it? We have 6 liters. Oh. We might have to go buy new seeds. Okay. Oh, really? It was 6 liters. Okay, well, that puts me in a bit of a pickle. But we can do an underway replenishment. So actually, close the shed. This is a shed full of hazardous materials. So we're not gonna leave that just open for anybody to walk into and nick our fertilizer and then go creating all kinds of things that I don't want to say on a YouTube video, because I doubt the intelligence agencies these days pay attention to the difference between describing something in Farming Simulator and suggesting to some folks how to make mischief. And I was gonna say we can probably go down to here, but if we're gonna do underway replenishment, we're gonna need some flat ground to work with. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right over here. Here we go. Alright, turn the tractor off. And then we just need to go back to the farm, grab our pickup truck, and bring in a pallet of seeds. Now, I guess I can go and buy it right now. I keep clicking that store just out of habit. I guess we can go ahead and buy seeds. Seeds hither. And we're gonna buy this one. It is slightly more, but also it is bags, so we could easily load this by hand, because we could just grab it bag by bag and load it up into our seed drill. And we're not gonna be putting any fertilizer in it, even though we could actually, if we had put fertilizer in it, that little strip of land that we just plowed in would get adjusted to better fertilization statuses, and it would match the field. But honestly, I don't feel like doing it, because then we would have to just unload the fertilizer again if we wanted to use the machine, and it's not necessary. So we're gonna walk on over here, and we're definitely gonna do this in a time lapse, at least partially, or some kind of like montage, because seeding that big of a field is going to take a hot minute. And so, yeah. In other news, I have downloaded the Follow Me mod, which has been released this week, finally. And I am not saying that ungratefully. I am so excited to use that mod. It is my favorite mod in the game, because it allows us to finally use stuff like forage wagons, or not wagons, forage harvesters, and have a worker follow us in a tractor with a trailer and actually load us a trailer the way that it's supposed to be. Right? It is so difficult. It's mostly impossible almost. You would have to tow a wagon, or a like silage trailer behind you as the harvester, and that's just not how it's done, right? Normally farmers would come with a forage harvester, and they would come with a bunch of tractors and trailers, silage trailers preferably, and then they would just take turns loading up the wagons and delivering them to a silage plant or whatever, right? And so that's now what we're basically enabled to do with the use of this mod. Same thing with using a combine. We can be doing like combine underway replenishment. And yes, you could use like an auto drive or course play or whatever it's called. But I'll be honest, course play, I always found it a little bit too... like a little bit too much in terms of the controls, whereas follow me was always toggle, offset, Bob's your uncle. So anyway, we'll have them load up the pallet. It's kind of them to just stick it out here, and then we'll go back to our field, replenish the thing, and that'll be that. So let's go get someone from the service, well, sales I guess, or whoever. Okay, so they put it on, and I mean, let's not worry about how the straps are strapping the pallet, but not the bags. Luckily they can fly off. And let's head over there. It is literally right here. We are pretty lucky that the store is right here. Sometimes there are maps where the store is very far away, which enables you to like drive around lots, but unfortunately it also means you have to drive around lots, which sometimes that can be kind of daunting. Not in this case. In this case, it's just right here by our farm, conveniently located. Because every middle of nowhere Riverbend Springs, ooh, I missed my turn. Every middle of nowhere Riverbend Springs has their own machine dealer. I'm sure that was safe. Alrighty. Here we are. Alright, let's go like this, right next to it, so that we could, in theory, cross between the deck and the step plate, or whatever you call it, on the cedar right here. And that way, we could fill it up like that, if that was a thing that was enabled. But since it's not, we're just gonna go like this, load it up, bam. That worked out perfectly. Now we don't have any spare, just one bag sitting there. We are set for oat, and that's gonna be that. So when, let's actually start on this side of the field. Does that make sense? It does not. We would probably do better actually starting off over there, because that way we can go straight down. Bam. We'll probably do 2 headlands. So let's do this. 3 headlands. Nah, do 2 headlands, Buster. Yeah. Work direction automatic. Side offset we don't need. Show lines we shouldn't need. It should be fairly self-explanatory from there. And everything looks good. So I think we can have at it. So, yeah, let's go. What is happening with the texture right there? Turn this on. Drop it down. And yeah, like I said, it works on the plowed texture. We don't need anything special. And I'm going to zoom out a little bit so that we actually see the end of that. And good. I'm actually now thinking that we might be doing the headland. This might not be too... Yep, this is definitely our second headland. It's not quite what I was hoping to do, but whatever. So here we are, crossing the first bit that we did before, and this part is probably going to grow weeds like crazy. And now it's picking up a weird, different texture. Huh. That's interesting. Okay, stop that. How about now? Nope, still doing it. Okay, let's see over here. Let's see on the map what it did. So I guess it doesn't matter, because it is literally just seed bed. But that is a weird kind of glitch. where it just picks up the last texture it's driven over and spreads it around. Because this field is perfectly cultivated and shouldn't have that texture on right now. As you can see, we're gonna have a weird stripy field every time we go this way. We're gonna have that stripe happen, and every time we go opposite, we're gonna have that stripe happen on the other side of the field. So that's gonna look hilarious, I guess, if you find that comical. It would be even more so if I actually... Whoa, yeah, that's probably not how you were supposed to do that. Here we go, line up. So as you can see, we're gonna have this going on over here, and then once we cross the thing, this sort of strawy mulch texture is gonna be applied on the other half of the field, and it's just gonna look like somebody was being hilarious. But it is what it is. We'll just make do with what we have. I'm actually wondering if when I turn the game off and start it back up, if this texture problem will sort itself up or out. Okay, let's see. Is it gonna do it again? Yeah, it's totally doing it. Yep. So yeah, so that's gonna look hilarious. I'm probably gonna like put on fly mode when this is done, and go take a thumbnail screenshot of it, because that's gonna be fun. That is gonna be comedy field. On the other hand, it would be very easy to tell where we have been and where we haven't been, even without the steering assist. So I guess that's a positive thing. But like I said, this is going to take quite a long time. So we're gonna start a time lapse, and I hope that, well, I don't know. I was gonna say I hope that I pick a good music, but I guess that's up to me, isn't it? Yeah. Alright, once we cross this, time lapse is a go. Okay, so we just have one last pass to do over at the head of the field. And then I did realize that I should have bought 2 of those bags of seeds, because we still have to plant, or sow, whatever, the field on our actual, like, farm's property. And so, yeah, we're gonna have to buy another one. But I forgot to turn it on, obviously. Anyway, but I'm thinking I might as well just have a worker do that, because that way I don't have to make like a super duper long thing or do like a off camera kind of deal. So I might probably do that. I might set a worker off. We do have money for it plenty, so it shouldn't be a big deal. And worker's gonna do that while I go around doing other things. I was hoping to get it done a lot faster than this, because it is starting to get dark. And that's gonna make seeding the field over there a little bit more difficult. Luckily it is a little bit more rectangular, I guess, so maybe it won't be that much more difficult. And hopefully the worker will knock it out long before midnight. That way our fields will be on the same schedule, I guess. Here we go. Turn it off for a second. Now I want to verify that I got everything, and it looks like we are shipshape and with fashionable bristles. Perfect. So I'm gonna go and, well, yeah, I'm gonna go and set the tractor to work over here, and then we're gonna go get a second thing of seeds. So AI worker, number of, oh, he has to do 3. Okay. Start with the up and downs. Skip lanes, no. Ready, set, go. Oh. Ready, set, go. Okay. So she's gonna go to work, and I'm gonna go back out there and pick up our tractor. I mean, our tractor, our pickup. Go back to the store and buy another thing of seeds. Luckily, they don't close till 6. Oh, but actually, before we do that, it is time. Oh, toggle flight. There we go. J. And we'll fly up for a thumbnail shot. That'll do. Let's just turn this off then. And turn that off. And hope we don't die from the fall. But yeah, that was funny. It shouldn't happen in the future, because in the future the field should all be one texture. So this shouldn't happen again. But it gave us something funny. And I think maybe this is where I'm going to call the episode. It is kind of the end of the day. Workers doing a worker thing. We don't really need to observe them doing that. And all I have to do is drive to the store and pick up another thing of seeds and deliver it back to the worker. I could turn... so by default, I always turn off the option that says... like, should the worker just buy the materials that it needs? And I always turn that off because it always... like, it costs a lot of extra money. I don't know what... like, I don't know what sort of price the worker uses to purchase the stuff. If it's like the current market value, or they just do that. So I never use that option. Even if it actually makes a little bit more sense in terms of finances, because actually I'm going the wrong way. Goofy. I am a goofy Uber. Even if it made a little bit more sense in terms of finances, because it might end up being less expensive than just buying it in bulk, because they will only pay for what they need. They are farmers. I don't like doing it. I like to buy the bags, because then, I mean, I'm still gonna use the seeds one way or another, so it doesn't really cost me anything, and that way I have control over the price, if that makes any sense. It is especially important to turn it off with stuff like manure, unless there is the option to refill it from your own supply, in which case you can put that in. So we're gonna park back up and buy the bags of seeds. Actually, it really doesn't matter. I'm gonna buy the big bag this time, because actually no, I'm gonna buy... It doesn't matter, because whatever we buy, the other thing is gonna spawn. But we don't really need to worry about it all that much. So you know what? Let's just buy these ones. Okay. Let's go talk to him again. Alright. So we're back on the way to the farm. It looks like we're also running out of gas in our truck. I did only fill it up halfway last time. I needed to fill it up. So we're gonna go and put a little bit more diesel in there. But yeah, that's gonna be it for this episode. I thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, come back again. I appreciate anybody who watches my videos. Leave a comment if you have something to say. If you like the game, if you don't like the game, if you're looking for advice, or if you have advice. Either way, leave a comment if you want to. And I will see you in the next one. Bye for now.